What's up, guys? Late Night Cast Mac here, recapping a wild, wacky day of playoff baseball. Obviously, it hurts with my team not in it, but figured to give you content anyway. The magical Mets ride continues after the Phillies yet again waste a Wheeler dominant performance, 7 innings, scoreless baseball from Wheeler, a postseason record, and a record 30 swing and misses, but the bullpen coughed it up with some very poorly executed pitches in the 8th, where the Mets scored 5 runs. 4 of their hits and productive outs were on 1-2 or 0-2 counts. The magic carpet ride continues for the Mets. The Phillies were also 2 for 8 with runners in scoring position, and 8 left on base. Other than the Schwarber bomb, they got nothing, and nicely managed by Carlos Mendoza as well for that one. The Cleveland Guardians ride a 5-run first and the largest shutout victory in their postseason history. It's 7-0. The Big Blows, Lane Thomas 3-run blast in the first. The Guardians scored 5 runs without the Tigers recording an out. And the one thing about the Tigers-Guardians, yes, the Tigers do the pitching chaos thing when Tanner Skubal's not pitching, but the Guardians are used to the Tigers pitching chaos because they are division foes. So that played as well. And the Guardians bullpen continues to be locked down. Bybee gave them 4 2/3. The bullpen took it the rest of the way. The Yankees seesaw battle with the Royals. I don't think I thought, or anyone thought, that the Royals-Yankee game would be 6-5. 5 lead changes, the most in postseason history. I think there were a few turning points, I think sending Salvador Perez early, it would have been bases loaded, no outs. Instead, you only get a sacrifice fly out of that inning. And after the Yankees squandered second and third, no outs in the first inning, I felt like that was a momentum flip. Clay Holmes coming up big, a couple of really good innings to kind of bridge it to their guys as well. And Bobby Witt held 0 for 5 with a K as well. And a couple really good defensive plays against them helped out as well. Gleyber Torres, Juan Soto, the other guys doing it. And also the Royals 8 walks, including a bases loaded one, and also the stolen base by Jazz Chisholm that I thought he was out on the possible strike him out, throw him out. And if you're not going to call him out when it seems very obvious, I don't know what the point of replay is, especially for the playoffs. I know it's the playoffs, it's a big moment. You don't want to overturn, but a couple of those today were pretty clear in all 3 games, so that was a bit surprising. But the Yankees were able to come up with the big hits, and of course, after the call stands on the delayed steal by Jazz Chisholm, Verdugo comes up huge. The boos that he'd been hearing because he'd been struggling turned into cheers. But I think that was more of a back and forth game than I thought. Cole struggled, but the boys were able to pick him up. And the Royals bullpen that had been rock solid from August to now faltered a little bit. And the Yankees took advantage, especially with the eagle eye. And then the last game, Dodgers, Padres, another division foe clash. I think even though Mookie Betts, Freddie, their lineup is stacked, but I'm not letting Shohei Ohtani beat me, and they let him beat them in the bottom of the second after they were able to grab a quick 3-0 lead, a Profar RBI ground out, and a Machado 3-run blast, and then the dreaded leadoff walk kind of opened the floodgates. Even though the Padres were able to answer back quickly, Dylan Cease was wasn't on, and it just became a bullpen game, and the Padres helped them out with an error as well. Manny Machado led to a 7th run, and Teoscar Hernandez a huge 2-out hit with the bases loaded. And the Dodger bullpen, it bent, but it didn't break. Blake Trinan with a 2-inning save for the first time since 2021, 41 pitches. I don't know how everybody's going to get through Game 2, given there's no day off for the NL tomorrow. But clutch hits everywhere, clutch defense. Miguel Rojas made a big-time basket catch with first and second, 1 out in the 8th. And so there was a lot of really good action. Again, I wish my Braves were in it, but is what it is. But really good playoff action. I just need replay to not care that it's playoffs and make the right call, because there was 3 or 4 on the base pass that I think there was definitely enough evidence to overturn, and they didn't. But postseason baseball is fun. The Mets a 1-0 lead. The Dodgers a 1-0 lead. The Guardians a 1-0 lead. And the Yankees a 1-0 lead. And 77% of Game 1 victors win. But it honestly feels like the Mets are riding the magic carpet ride. You've got to punch them out real far, because they will punch back with a multi-run inning faster than you can blink. That's where they are right now. So Phillies have got to bounce back in a big way, obviously. But it felt like the San Diego's still in a good spot. The Dodgers are obviously pitching starved with their injuries and ineffectiveness and using their bullpen, but they're in a good spot with the 1-0 lead. And the Padres are as well, to be able to come back. And the Yankees, being a back and forth game that it was, I think the Royals are still okay. Cole Reagan's on the mound in Game 2, and the Guardians and Tigers, that's still a coin flip, with Tanner Skubal going for the Tigers. In Game 2, I think the Phillies are in the most danger with the way the Mets are playing. It's just insane. So that's my thoughts heading into Game 2s tomorrow. I will give you a recap. As always, go Braves. Champions forever. Playoffs are awesome. Playoffs are better when your team's in it. But as always, baseball is awesome.